I want your essays to look good, not just to read well. When I say look good, when I open up your essay, I want it to look professional, not junior high-ish. And it's not that hard to do. You just got to follow a few steps to make it look professional. That's what we're after here as college students. So I'll just start with some examples and we'll go through them and say what's good and what's bad about them. So I have a student essay here. This was a practice essay. And this doesn't look right, and it's not, right? So why not? Well, everything in MLA is double spaced. You're not going to add any double spaces or additional spaces anywhere. So yeah, the student begins, okay? You don't need to have your last name up here in the right-hand corner of the first page. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. But you do need to have it on every page after the first one. On the first page, you just really need the heading, okay, over here. And this is done properly. So we have the double spacing between each element of the heading and the date with the day first. That's great. But now you have this massive gap here between the last element of the heading and the title, and you have another massive gap between the title and the body, and then the body isn't indented, and there's this weird left margin. But what I'm more concerned about is this gap here and why it exists. Just don't do it, all right? Double space everything. So what I think happens is students immediately think, oh, this is a long essay. I got to make it look longer. And I've seen some ones that just look like you're going to start here, press enter 8 times and start your essay like halfway down the first page. Don't do that. Don't try to make it longer that way. Just follow the rules, all right? Double space everything. So we'll go on to the next example and see how it looks. As it loads here, is this one right? Of course not. No. This one doesn't have double spacing in the heading. So you've got to double space the heading. The title does not need to be bold. Okay, just put it in a regular font. And for us, you're always going to use the Times New Roman 12-point font. That's it. It's just that simple. We have extra spacing here too, it looks like. I don't know what happened, and it could be the bold thing that did that. But then below we have this space between the paragraphs. Do not add space between your paragraphs. And the simplest way to fix that in Word is to go to the Paragraph tab and say remove space after paragraph. Just scroll down, click that, and then that won't happen. Okay. So let's look at the next example. Is this one on? Spot on. Let's take a look at it. Looks like she's got a little extra spacing here. Okay, it looks like it's actually 1.5 between these lines, so technically no. And eventually that would be a deduction, all right? Just double space it throughout. About Joseph, yeah, this is spot on. Okay, so everything looks crisp here. The spacing is double spaced throughout. This is what I want to see when I open up your essay. Make it look good for me. I'm going to give one more example here. We'll look at Ava's again. Okay, Ava didn't do this right, and I wrote her a note. Again, she's a great student. I wrote her a note. Please avoid the triple spacing in the heading. Also avoid the extra gap between the title and the body. These errors cost you points unnecessarily. So there's no reason to shoot yourself in the foot when you're writing this. One final thing to look at, the title itself, right? Do not name, let's see if I can highlight this. Yeah, do not name your title the title of the assignment. Okay, that's really Bush League. Make sure that your title is relevant to the theme of your essay. So it's not going to be essay 1, okay? It's going to be something that you thought of when you get to the body and you're really discussing the themes that you want to. Those themes give birth to the title itself. You can add the title later if you want. So let me codify some of these things for you here. In titles, students still don't capitalize properly. So you're going to have 3 things to look at when you're capitalizing. You will capitalize everything but articles, and that means a, an, and the, unless they are the first or last word of a title. Generally, these aren't going to be the last word, right? That's hard to do, but okay, that is the rule, right? Prepositions, right? is going to be like during, above, around, in, to, for, right? You're going to capitalize all prepositions that are more than 5 letters, okay? During is capitalized because it's 6. About is not capitalized because it's 5. So it has to be more than 5 letters, unless it's the first or last word of the title. Verbs are always capitalized, okay? I don't know why students don't want to capitalize is, for instance, but it is a verb. It's always going to be capitalized. There's another element that I didn't think to include that I can. Conjunctions, right? The fanboys. That's for, and, nor, etc. But yet so, you know that, okay? So these will not be capitalized unless first or last word of the title. So here's a title I wrote out. This is a title of the first essay I did. It's called Discussion, It is During, About, and After. Even though it looks really funky, okay? It is, I gotta capitalize is because it's a verb, right? During, it's a preposition. It has to be capitalized because it's 6 letters. About doesn't have to be capitalized because it's only 5. After is a preposition with 5 letters, but it's the last word, so it has to be capitalized. So this looks really weird, but it follows the rules. And that's what I would like you to do. And then again, to highlight, titles must be original. They should not rename the assignment. Don't title your essay Essay 1. Okay? Yeah, just be original and creative with it. And as always, ask questions.